that you're capable, you have to assume automatically where this masculine presentation so they can accept you. For us here in Nigeria, that's part of the culture. So you have to present that personality for them to accept you. We also had the financial debacle, the challenge of finances, the challenge of staggering, in fact, the challenge from the voters, the challenge from the populace, our people, the citizens, people who are meant to accept you as a woman. A woman comes on board with the best chemistry and the elements, 100% content of character, So they are meant to accept you being a woman, an intelligent woman, and a spoken woman, a woman who has thrown herself into the ring and brought herself out, a whole lot of impediments. So we have to cross all of this hurdle. It was a struggle, it was a tough battle, and going through that campaign in the 2023 election, honestly, it's not a mean feat. And for any woman who actually threw up herself, either as an aspirant or eventually emerged as a candidate, we should give that person a thumbs up, because it's not a mean feat to be in the field of political campaign and contesting for political position.
Now, let's stay with politics. Do you think the society still looks down on women, and the society is not ready to give women political power? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's two-way. That's not what I'm saying in entirety. I know that the Nigerian, the country is actually a mature one. We're very intelligent people, and then we rank top in being educationally aware and socially comfortable, socially aware, in fact. So I don't think that they think we're not mature for women in leadership and in political office. But we have a whole lot of societal setback that we need to clear the folks away. We need to reorient the people. We need to deal with it. We need to teach and make people understand so they can accept us wholeheartedly. Because I know as a woman, and for other women and women around the world, women come on board anything they do with their best. They come up with their best. So for any woman who comes up, people should not have any impediment or any kind of doubt, or probably trying to evaluate we should be able to stand the heat in the kitchen. We know all of that. If we would not be able to, we will not come into the race in the sorry. Nigeria is very mature. We're also very aware. But there are a lot of vices that should not be part of a condiment of our society that we need to reorient the people about.
Now, let me throw that question at you again. I'm going to rephrase. Now, when we look at the Rivers State House of Assembly, the ratio of women to men, my goodness, we have more men. I think we have just I can't remember, but one or two female lawmakers at the Rivers State House of Assembly. When we look at the National Assembly, the amount of women also are not enough. As a matter of fact, the National Assembly ranks very low when compared with other assemblies across the world when it comes to women representation. So now the question then is, once again, do you think the society, maybe we can even bring it down to River State or the Niger Delta, do you think the society still does not recognize the potential the woman brings to the table in terms of politics?
Well, I reiterate, I don't think so.
Okay.
They recognize our strengths, our capability, our potential, and everything required to be in public space leadership and in political position. Like I said, that's why I think the men, the onus is also on them, because we have from time immemorial given support to men at all cadre. So at this point in our society and in Nigeria, in our political development, they need to come out early and very strong, with a very strong message to support women in both spheres of human endeavor in Nigeria and the world over. So we talk about the women in the River State legislative arm. The ratio is really very poor and abysmal. And in the world, Africa the lowest. And amongst Africa, Nigeria is really at the end. We are not in the rank at all for the kind of support the world expects for us to give to women. How would you compare the ratio of 6 to 27 in the state assembly and almost nothing at the National Assembly of over 400 and something legislators?
Okay, 6 to 27.
The number is nothing to write home about. It's a far cry. We have continually played and paid lip service to gender issues, and which has been the bane of our societal development. The lack of women in governance, public life, and in politics is the bane of Nigeria's societal development. So the high we begin to bring women in all spheres of human endeavor and support them 100%. We're not talking about 35 or 45%. All of that were just a part. We want an equilibrium for us to be able to entrench an egalitarian society. We want 50-50. We want equal competition, because when women come on board as the best managers, they have the chemistry of being able to multitask, to do 100 things at the same time and do them perfectly very well.
All right. Let's leave politics for a bit. Let's get to the economic part, the business part. I was in HA on Monday, and I realized that women were predominantly the farmers. I might be wrong, maybe because it was cassava farming, but I saw a lot of women farmers in HA, and it points out to the industrial ability of the Rivers women and many other women in the Niger Delta. Do you think that equilibrium you talk about, or you just mentioned or latched on not too long ago, do you see that playing out even in the business sector, in the economic sector? Do we have women who have access to loans, access to their business opportunities being taken to the next level? In your opinion, what is it like for the woman in the business place?
Oh, well, we're still saying the same thing. The support given to women economically, financially, it's not the kind of support we expect for us to be able to turn out the kind of results expected for women. You spoke about that's agriculture, cassava farming, So I think they have looked at that aspect today. Let's leave this one for women, or maybe those are rural farmers. But you see, that's a signal we're sending for women to be able to consistently do that kind of farming. They have the ability to do better in and cassava farming if you come and make it mechanized, if you also give them credit, soft loan, facility, finances, all kind of support from the local government. I think that this is a bit of the local government, the state government, and the federal government. Coming to the business sector, women have headed various ministries, agencies, and parastatals. So when a woman eventually thinks to begin to work as a private person, to work in the private sector, run a business, take the business to the next level, for goodness sake, right now, statistics show that over 40% of our homes are run by women. Women are fast becoming breadwinners, in fact, are breadwinners. But when we want facility and you go to the microfinance bank or you go to the commercial bank, the commercial banks have actually failed this gender, the women. They tell us they have gender debt to help and assist women, but when you go there, they have a list of impediments. They don't assist, they don't do anything to help women. So enough time to having political will and legislating. We have to send a strong statement to all sectors and all cadres when it concerns women. There is no way society and Nigeria, for any reason, will thrive. We give us the kind of results that we want when we underutilize our human capital. We cannot have 200 million citizens and 100 million is not utilized, and only 100 or probably 89 or 99 million working for the 200 million. We will not get anywhere. Those want to be exhausted and will overwork them. Let us give a level playing field to the women and to the men. And remember, if you empower, if you support the woman, you have supported education, you have supported agriculture, you have also supported what? Health. And overall, you have supported security.
All right. I will get back to you in a bit. I've got a commercial break for about 3-4 minutes, about 5 minutes stop. When I do come back, I will be asking you some other questions, still about the woman, the Nigerian woman, the Rivers woman, the Niger Delta woman. So please do stay with me. I'll be right back. "28 minutes gone past the hour of 4. You're still listening to 92.3 Nigeria Info. This is Hard Facts. I am Kalada Kurubatbo, and I'm speaking with Mrs. Mercy Jo King, who is the coordinator of the Rivers State Female Electoral Candidates. She contested for the House of Representatives, Awuda West, Ogba Egbama Indoni Federal Constituency during the 2023 election. She's a journalist, publisher, writer, media personality, and our conversation is in commemoration with the International Day for Women. Today is the day set aside for the celebration of women. All right, welcome back, Mrs. Jo King. It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so we've talked about some of the challenges The next question I want to ask you is this: are the women trying to, because you talked about equity, equilibrium, equality, are the women trying to be on the same pedestal with the men? Are they trying to take over from the men? Because I don't know, maybe there is that misconception that the men will lose their spot if they support the women. So what's your take on that?
Well, I think that's very elementary and very parochial. Why would we want to take over the men? I don't think we all have our spaces. Why would a woman do that? Neither a man wants to do that. So if we present that narrative, then I see complex, I see inferiority. So if a man thinks this woman is capable, why would he not give her the opportunity? He also stems from the social unit and social circuit, and having the smallest social circuit, which is family, he also starts from the family. The family should learn to give all their children, male and female, equal opportunity. The overbloated and sexist kind of communication is really eating deep into our social fabric. So no man should think we're coming to take their place. Give us our space. Women want to prove their mettle. They want to contribute their quota to society. And women come on board in every class, every sector. They come on board as the best managers. When you have women managing, results are better. The output are highly are improved.
Sorry, let me pause you.
Women are not agitating to take men's space. That's a no-no. It's a wrong narrative. It's not fitting. It's not the foundation at all for any kind of discussion, and we shouldn't lend credence to that. Women want to prove their mettle. Women are very intelligent and very brilliant. So I want political will. I want legislation. I want strong message. Good thing, the Constitutional Review and the National Assembly Committee on Constitutional Review has on that list gender issue because it has hit them. It's biting on the Nigerian economy. It's biting globally. So we really have to give gender issue a thought. We have to look at it clinically. We have to look at it in detail. And specifically, we must look at it in the Niger Delta and in the River State.
Okay.
The last governor, our immediate past governor, assisted women, and I think that was just born out of personal conviction and what I call political will. When women were made vice chairmen in local government, what stopped women from being their chairman? So that was also a negative signal. We needed women to be chairmen. It eventually turned out just one woman, which is Bonny local government, as a chairman. What happened to the plethora of over how many local governments in River State? Not even two. When you come to the state assembly, 6 against 27. What are we saying? What are we doing? We're sending wrong signals to our children. We're trying to run over the wrong buttons. So when they come up tomorrow, they begin to continue. They continue with this sexist mentality, which is demonic, and they begin to only assist men, talk about men, as against a full table that should have spaces for men, spaces for women, and spaces for everybody.
All right. I was going to ask you, there were several questions I wanted to ask you while you were speaking, but I think we have to move on now. The next question I want to ask is, do you think